Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Pretty good, pretty good. We have signing sheet.
No, I should have, but I guess I can put it up and.
All right. Good evening, y'all.
Hey, how are you?
Well, ladies. Can you move this rolling chair for me?
Cause if you move it, if you move it, you try to.
I know. I can't. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Okay, thank
Great. Oh, gosh. Let me see. Let me catch my breath. The mask is a trip.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mask will keep you from. That is trash.
Am I holding right?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna put it in the trash. I have a whole box of. Box of these things.
Thank you.
Oh.
How are you all?
All right, how are you?
Yes. All right.
I'm sorry.
You got your, you have paper. Agenda. No.
How are you?
How are you?
Good.
Let's get it.
Do you know where my picture?
Oh, that's nice.
I'm good too.
Me too.
Huh?
Me too.
Yeah,
I think I ordered.
Beautiful shirt.
you can speak.
Me too.
Yeah. I need two words and then woman's, my wife, I don't know how to, women's side. But she's short. And she has a little,
Today is my son's birthday.
Oh, she on my side.
Yeah, my
little
baby.
So extra large. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, well, let me see, this is an extra large. So is that too big for her?
Yeah, that's probably for you.
Okay, so you need an extra large,
Well, I usually get two.
okay. But then she got. You're awesome. Boy, that's nice, you're awesome.
Yes, you did. I told you. Wonderful.
Girl, I brag about you. You're awesome. I've never seen nothing like this.
Yes,
Not
look,
even
I'm
at the
playing
last
with you
one.
and I didn't wanna crowd it.
You're awesome. Beautiful. Never seen nothing like this. Very business fine.
I am in a few more minutes and then, somebody's supposed to come in and speak.
Get speaker? Try to wait a few minutes, I think it's what, 6:33, 4?
4.
Talk to your sister.
You're talking about sister today.
Yes,
She was trying to come home for the funeral.
yeah, she said, but you know,
It's too high.
and
just
also,
left, huh?
she just left New Jersey.
800, man, come on. Whew, too high.
Oh, you're done. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
You wanna give them a-
Let's give one more minute. Just, yeah. Cause
I'll give them 5 minutes. Oh, people online.
I don't know if anybody, I set it up.
code enforcement.
Is that connected?
That's it.
Oh,
Somebody coming now.
Good.
Look like it.
That 1 minute there. Come on, man.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, stranger.
That's my cousin.
That's a price, wrong price.
Robinson.
Robinson. Yeah, how does he look now?
Tony.
Now, City of North Charleston employee.
Okay. Let's pray. Our Father and our God, we just thank you for this day, God. We just ask that you put a special blessing on this meeting today, so that we'll be able to take care of all the business that you have us to do, God. We be careful to give you all the praise in Jesus' name, amen.
So I'm going to begin by reading President Bolt's notes, and I'll be conducting in her absence. She starts out saying that she would like to thank all those who have helped in any capacity for the first Liberty Hill Gala and throughout the Liberty Hill Gala. The committee, I would have asked them to stand up, but I guess it's still early and people aren't here. It consists of Sister McFadden, Penny, I guess that's Penny Sheila, Nashonda, Regina, Stephanie, Cookie, Yvette, Vanessa, and Pop, and any others who helped. We thank you for your hard work and sacrifice for making our first gala a great success. We are still getting rave reviews about how beautiful and nice it was, so thanks again. We finished our first farmers market for this year. The community was glad to have fresh veggies on the hill like the yesteryears. Thank you all to who participated, cut the trees and grass on the property, tried to stave off the hot sun for 6 hours each Saturday, traveled far and near to get veggies, set up and break down signs, tents, tables, chairs, veggie stand, ordered supplies, and help put out the word. Teamwork makes the dream work. So thank you all. And please stand up if you help. Y'all, let's give them a hand for all they did. They helped to bring the community together monthly. Thanks again. And then Ms. Barber's going to read the minutes.
Okay. Did anybody get a copy of the minutes? No? Okay. Liberty Hill Improvement Council monthly meeting minutes for August 18th, 2022. 20 plus were in attendance. Valerie Young, president, called meeting to order. Minister Craig gave opening prayer. Valerie welcomed everyone. She informed us that we have a full schedule. We will start with the report from the Liberty Hill Redevelopment Group. Craig Mitchell, president. Liberty Hill Redevelopment Group received city funding of $500,000 for rehab of 21 houses. Contractors are ready, just waiting for funds. We apologize for any inconvenience. A resident questions, how were the 21 people selected? Response from Craig, 60 houses were inspected, $25 was allowed by the county for roofing. Resident question, what was the initial amount? Craig, initially we had 58,000, did 9 projects. Once we utilized the initial amount with success, additional money would be granted. We are expected to be a model for other communities. Valerie gave the guidelines, you must be 62 years old, are disabled, must live in home. We're asking that you not rent or sell. Resident question, mobile homes are not included. Once rezoning was approved, we are not considered homeowners. Can't get help. Valerie stated there's a critical needs repair program that allows money for mobile home owners. Valerie, next presentation is by Reverend Rivers with the Charity Foundation. Also, he's pastor of the Charity Baptist Church. Reverend Rivers opened, he said, in 2010, we activated the Charity Foundation. In 2015, I was given a vision and focus from an encounter with Boeing. The vision was a transformation of Liberty Hill, focusing on education, workforce, and housing. For 4 years, we fought with the city of North Charleston to get vacant properties. They voted for us to have 2 properties. Now we have 2 more. We are building 1-bedroom affordable housing. Our goal is to build senior homes on Liberty Hill. As property becomes available, we will purchase and build. Craig indicated what we need on Liberty Hill is to fix what is broken, fix houses in need of repairs, address crimes, housing, etc. Reverend Rivers responded, we can develop and renovate at the same time. A resident questioned, what is considered affordable housing? Nashonda Hunter responded, from the Charity Foundation, it's based on AMI, area median income from HUD, who loaned the money. Some residents were not in agreement with new housing being built on Liberty Hill, while existing homes could be renovated. Other residents would like to see combined efforts. Hester McFadden, as we stated, we must not fight each other. We must address crimes and gang warfare. Reverend Rivers responded, challenge is, we speak in a vacuum. We must not be fearful of each other. When income goes up, crime goes down. We want quick answers for complex problems. Guns are the new drugs. Reverend Rivers extended an invitation, needed 15 names to attend a listening session called ACT, which means to stop talking. Topics will be on gun, violence, and economics. Reverend Rivers stated, I will close with this. We are trying to keep housing affordable by buying the lot and building subsidized housing. Our goal and our mission is straightforward. We offer financial literacy for our prime properties. We are 100% transparent. Valerie thanked Reverend Rivers. She opened the floor for announcements. Sister Hester, reminder of our gala on September 24th at 7 p.m. It's a fundraiser to support the community and to provide scholarships, supplies, etc. Derek gave a report on October 29th, 12 noon to 5. The Next Generation will have a fall festival at Felix Pinckney Park. There will be food giveaways, etc. Last year, there was approximately 300 people in attendance. We are anticipating an even larger crowd. Looking forward to you being there. Valerie called meeting to adjournment. Reverend Rivers gave a closing prayer. I'm telling you, you don't want it in the meetings, don't say it, but I'm record everything. But anyway, that's the end of the minutes for our monthly meeting in August of 22.
Okay. Meeting minutes have been read. Can I get a motion?
I move that we receive the minutes.
Second.
Who's second?
3 people, 3.
Okay. Next, can we get a financial report from Ms. Regina Hackett?
Okay, we started out in, September. We started out with $2,401.57. And we spent $465.21 for supplies for the gala. So then we had a deposit of $265. And then when the $465.21 was returned, then we ended up with $2,666.57.
2,000.
$666.57.
Okay, so our resource officer isn't here yet, neither code enforcement.
We have to take a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just skipped right over, I'm sorry. Can I have a motion, please?
Can I ask a question? Do you have a report from what was raised at the gala?
No, because the gala is reunion group. This is,
Oh, just a strictly,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's a separate fund? Okay.
Separate fund.
So nobody have a report on it? Nobody?
We just don't take, it's not reported at this meeting, so when they have their, at the end of the year, they'll have all of it come out.
So you're looking for a motion?
Oh, I move that we accept the,
I thought you were about to say something, go ahead.
oh, no, I saw that, the reunion, committee was gonna have don't they have a report today on the agenda? So I was thinking that maybe that was coming up during that time, I'm not sure. Okay, I accept the financial report, I move that we accept the financial report.
I second the motion.
Okay, I guess the only reason I'm asking is because you said the supplies for the gala came out of this fund, but you said this fund is only for
and
this.
this is an improvement group. And the reason the supplies came out of this fund is Valerie couldn't get to me to get the money, so she used the card from this account. So then I'm just gonna reimburse her.
Oh, okay.
Give her
That's
that.
what I was trying to get an understanding, because I saw you said supplies gala. And then, okay.
Okay.
We don't, our resource officer, neither code enforcement officer is here yet. So next on our list, on the agenda is to introduce our guest speaker. He's from the Charleston County Grants Department. Mr., is it Daryl or Darrell? Daryl Davis. And I don't have a bio, so if you wanna come up and introduce yourself first, and then.
Sure. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Daryl Davis. Actually, I am the Director of Housing and Neighborhood Revitalization for Charleston County. Our department was, well, first of all, I'm fairly new to Charleston, been here about a year now. As a matter of fact, Saturday, I will be in Charleston County for 1 year. Came here from Miami. Before that, I've worked at housing authorities in Canton, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., and Miami. And now I'm here in Charleston. Our department was created to deal with the housing affordability crisis in Charleston County. And then the county was given $80 million in ARPA funds from the federal government. And so they they gave that money to our department to distribute as well. So there was going to be some overlap there. So a large part of that money would go towards providing affordable housing. So that's essentially how we came into existence. And those are our two main functions, which is to deal with housing affordability and to distribute $80 million, well, actually to distribute $50 million in ARPA funding. $30 million went directly into the county coffers through what they call lost revenue to make up for tax revenue that was lost during the pandemic, during the shutdown. So $20 million was set aside specifically for housing. There was about $10 million that went towards other community-related stuff. Some of that was housing. So altogether, it would be about $26 million for housing. And then another $20 million is going into community programs. So talk about two things that are happening. We'll start with housing because that's what I do. That's why I'm here. The big pushes in terms of housing are, number one is the critical home repair program. And that is for, I think at this time, they're just doing senior citizens all over the county who can't afford to keep their house in living condition to do critical repairs. We set aside $3 million for that. That money went extremely quick. It showed us just how big the need was out there. So right now, we are sort of re-examining the budget. I know there will be at least another $1 million that we've identified that can go into that. We're trying to make it another $2 million. In addition to that, $11.5 million will go towards gap financing. That's directly towards building affordable housing. $10 million for larger projects and $1.5 million for infill projects. Those are 1, 2, 3, and 4 unit houses in whatever part of the county. And that funding application actually should hopefully go out Monday or Tuesday of next week, where we'll be asking developers to submit their projects that we can actually give them funding to complete. Also, one of our big pushes on the housing side is to build capacity in the development community. What does that mean? Right now, even if the federal government and the state gave us all the money we needed, and they said, just take it all, we still could not build the number of housing units that we need in this county. There's not enough developers. There's not enough people to build it. But more importantly, when you're building low income and affordable housing, you're talking about nonprofits playing a large part, and we don't have the capacity in our nonprofit community. Right now, in all of Charleston County, there is only one nonprofit that can actually do a tax credit project on their own. That's a major problem. Obviously, when developers come in, they're looking for profit and they're looking to maximize profit. That's why nonprofit developers are a big part of solving that issue. Well, we have $4 million set aside for community housing development organizations to build their capacity so that they can help us build more units all around the county. And so there was a lot of folks who didn't quite understand why we were putting that money out front. But again, if we had all the money we needed, we couldn't get the units. But this is a very difficult place to develop. You have to deal with hurricane issues. You have to deal with flooding issues. You have a very complex political structure here. So there's a lot of developers who just won't come here. So we have to build the capacity of the people that are already here who know how to do what we need done. And we want to help them to get that done. So all the community groups, we'll be holding some meetings very soon. There will be some grants available to community groups who are doing housing. And so hopefully we can get that ball rolling that way. Those are the big pushes. We also have $2 million set aside for home ownership. Don't really know how we're going to spend that yet, but one of the things we do know is that home ownership is absolutely critical, not just to neighborhood stability, but to family stability and wealth building. One of the things we've seen in Charleston County is that I think in July was the last month I checked. In July, 40% of all the homes sold in Charleston County were sold to corporations. 40%. What that means is they are developing a purchase to rent strategy. They're buying as many houses as they can, and they're gonna go out for rent. Now, right now, people see that as a good thing because, and anybody who's trying to rent understands just how difficult it is, A, to find a place, and B, to find a place you can afford. But here's what's happened in other cities, and this is what I'm expecting to happen in Charleston County if we don't get out in front of this. Every year, developers are pushing a minimum of a 3% rent increase. That was before the pandemic. And that hurt enough, but now we're seeing rent increases of 10, 15, and 20% year over year. What does that mean? If you're a family, you find this beautiful house in a nice neighborhood, and you're like, okay, I can afford that, $1,500 a month, we both working, we can put this in, we good. And you move in there, and that $1,500 a month rent, when you get ready to re-sign that lease, is now $1,800. So that's $300 a month you gotta come up with and figure out, or you gotta figure out how you gonna come up with $4,000 or $5,000 so you can move. And what happens is that first rent renewal, everybody tries, well, they wanna stay put, kids in a decent school, whatever. So we figure, okay, we can cut this, we can cut that. And, we will go ahead and we're gonna eat that $300 a month. Halfway into that, you're struggling. Now you're late on rent every once in a while. You don't get that rent in time, now you're in eviction court. Now when that next renewal comes up, you have no choice. You can't move because now you've got an eviction on your record. Now you've got late rent payments. This is the cycle we're finding our families in over and over again. And this is the cycle that we're trying to break. So that's where we want to put our resources, what's going to make a difference for families in Charleston County, particularly the families who've been here. So that's all on the housing side. On the neighborhood revitalization side, we already put out $1.5 million to small businesses. That program wasn't extremely well advertised. We were just getting started. We were trying to get the word out as best as possible, but this is a big county. So we are putting, we only put out $500,000 that actually went out to businesses. So we still have $1 million left in the first round, and we have an additional $2 million that county council has allotted for us to go to neighborhood scale businesses. So if there are businesses in your community that have been affected by the pandemic, they had to shut down or business slowed down, if they can demonstrate a loss between 2019, 2020, and 2021, we will compensate them for that loss up to $25,000. There'll be additional programs coming after that, but this is the first round of relief because we know businesses are out there, they need help, they're struggling, and so we have money available to do that. November 4th, that program reopens, so get the word out to as many people as you can. And if you go, the easiest way to find us, you go to the county website, go to departments, look under H for housing and neighborhood revitalization, and all of our grants will be listed on that page. But we need help getting the word out to these small businesses.
Can you give an example of some of the businesses that will be?
Okay, yeah, sure. The only businesses that are excluded are like passive real estate investments, any adult or restricted businesses, alcohol sales, anything like that. Those are excluded. But other than that, the program is open to any small business with less than 10 employees and that made less than $500,000 a year. So it's pretty wide open, and businesses can do whatever they want with this money. It's not a grant. I mean, it's not a loan. It is a grant. It is for pandemic relief, so they can use those funds any way they see fit. And then finally, for nonprofit organizations, we have several programs that are out there. The first one was to reimburse any organization who spent money providing pandemic relief to Charleston County residents. So whether it was giveaways or helping people pay rent or providing food or whatever, the county reimbursed organizations up to $50,000 for any money that they spent providing relief to Charleston County residents. The next set of programs is going to be two major ones. Number one is what I call our nonprofit special projects. That's any nonprofit in the county, any small nonprofit in the county. the county will spend, we don't have a dollar limit yet. It'll either be 25,000 or 50,000. I'm still looking through the ARPA regulations, but money that the county will spend for you to purchase something to help you do what you do. So whether that's computers, I know there's like a reading program that wants to purchase a van, things like that. So this isn't money that you can go spend. It is you identify an item that the county will purchase on your behalf. And the reason we're doing it that way is a lot of small nonprofits don't have the bookkeeping capabilities and the board structure to accept federal money. This is all federal money, so we have to follow federal guidelines. So if we purchase something on your behalf or give you the money to purchase something, then we don't have to worry about federal compliance on the back end. So once that program is done, we're moving into our nonprofit capacity building phase. And what that is we're working together with some of the larger nonprofits, and they want to help small nonprofits essentially become certified, for lack of a better word, to accept federal dollars. So they'll help you get your board structured correctly. They will help you organize your bookkeeping. And in some cases, we may be able to even pay for a bookkeeper for a year or two to help you get books in order. And once you meet certain requirements, then you'll be able to accept federal money. So once your group finishes that program, there'll be a grant at the end, maybe up to 25,000 or 50,000 that you can take and spend however you see fit. So that's how we plan to approach it. One of the things I realized when I got here is that the nonprofit community was very disjointed. Everybody had their own little corner, and nobody seemed to work together. And I guess, a lot of that was just because that's the way it was, because everybody told me, yeah, you're not gonna change that. Well, one of the things that I called all the nonprofits in the county into a room, and I said, look, we need to do things differently. We got a big pot of money here. County council has sent me out to spend it. We have to do better than what we've been doing. And what I found was, in all of my travels across the county, I only found one nonprofit that wasn't eager to work with everybody else. So it was just a myth. It's just the way things had happened. But when I brought folks to the table, I said, look, we really got to find a way to work together. They said, fine with us. So that's kind of the environment we're in. So we want to take advantage of this opportunity. We think we've identified, I can't tell you who they are yet. We think we've identified some very good groups that are eager to help smaller nonprofits get where they need to be to accept some of this federal money. So that's kind of where we are. Those are all the big things. There's a bunch of little other things that you can see if you go to our website, but those are the big things. Our housing plan, the county housing plan. We are working on the Housing Our Future plan. And essentially that is a comprehensive housing plan for the entire county. Now, the important thing about this is it's not just an affordable housing plan, it is a housing plan. It's meant to address the entire housing issue across the county. Because here's something that folks don't typically want to talk about. I typically don't talk about it when I go to community groups. But I figure, you know what, it's part of the problem, we might as well deal with it. The fact is, Charleston County has plenty of middle income housing. Charleston County has a huge shortage of not just affordable housing, but luxury housing. Why is that a problem? Because every day, 16 people move into this county. 8 of those people make $150,000 a year or more. So what happens? If there's no place for them to live, what do? They start buying up houses in your neighborhood. They start pricing people out of your neighborhood. The majority of people I meet in Charleston County cannot afford to live in the neighborhoods they grew up in. That's because you have a lot of high income people moving to the county. There's nothing for them to buy. There's nothing for them to rent. So they're competing with you and me. And you're talking about people who are coming down from New York and New Jersey, making $300,000-$400,000 a year. They've got a New York salary, but now they can work remote. So they can come down here and spend half of what they would have spent in New York City. That's the problem that we're dealing with. So as we approach county council, as we approach the community, what I want everybody to know is we need to address the entire scope. We need to make it easier for people to build here in Charleston County, whether it's luxury apartments or whether it's affordable apartments. Because if we don't address the luxury issue, the land to build affordable housing is going to keep getting more expensive. That's the problem we're dealing with. It is a complex problem we cannot do. I know everybody says, let's take all. Now, I do want to make one thing clear. The county is not putting any money towards luxury housing. Let's get that straight off the bat. There will be no money going to luxury housing, but we do need to make it easier to build. We do need to make sure that there's some place for these people to live who are coming to the county because they're buying up our neighborhoods and moving us out. Plain and simple. So I think I'll just leave it at that for now. We do need everybody to participate with the housing plan. There is a survey that you can find online. Again, go to our website. There'll be a link to the survey. It's a very short survey. We need as many people to fill it out as possible. We are not getting enough feedback from Black and Latino communities. So I know it sounds like a pain. In fact, I will make sure that I send you a link that you can email to everybody, because tell people to go to our website. Sometimes, it's like, yeah, I'll do it, and they just don't get around to it.
What's the website address?
Excuse me?
The website address?
The website is charlestoncounty.org, and just go to the Housing and Neighborhood Revitalization Department and fill out the survey. Get your friends to fill it out. Send it to whoever you can. We need more input from Black and Latino communities.
Say it one
Yes,
more
ma'am.
time. I mean, I filled it out this summer, but
Okay.
he wants the address. Can you give it to me again?
It is charlestoncounty.org. And then if you just go to the Housing and Neighborhood Revitalization Department, just click, it'll say departments, click on it, hit the H, you'll see us right there. And then that will have a link to the survey. Once we finish the plan is scheduled to be published on November 4th. It'll be published on our website, it'll go out to the news media. We need folks to give public comment. We're giving a 5-week public comment period. People, I can't stress this enough. Make your voices heard. Make your voices heard. I'm gonna go a little bit further. Start showing up at council meetings. Let folks know how you feel and how you think. That's where decisions are made. Every 4 years, presidential election comes around and folks start losing their minds over something that by and large is not going to affect you on a daily basis. Every decision they make as city council and county council, if you live in the city of North Charleston, every decision they make affects you directly. We have got to start participating in local government. What the most frustrating thing for me is when I'm out there fighting for our community. And right now I'm talking about the Black community. I guess I'm not on the clock, so I can say this. I'm out there fighting every day for our community. And when I'm standing there in front of council, I don't see any of us. I don't see any of us. So we have got to start showing up. We have got to start making our voices heard. We have got to let folks know, we're not going to be overlooked. So that's the one thing I'm going to leave here tonight. I am begging you, get involved, get your families involved, get your friends involved. And as we put out this housing plan, and it's going to be complex. Charleston County is an extremely diverse community. Most places I've lived, when you look at the county, you see an urban center, go out to the suburbs, and maybe out on the fringes, there's some rural areas. Well, Charleston County has 3 urban areas and rural all over the place. Every community is different. You don't want a plan. You don't want us to publish a plan where your community is not considered. You don't want us to publish a plan where the people from Mount Pleasant have given their feedback, the people from Arendelle and Hollywood have given their feedback, and you've been silent. You don't want that to happen. So when this plan is published, take time, look through it, give your public comments, let county council know you support this, you don't support this. The plan is for you. We can sit there and plan all day, but if the community doesn't support it, we have wasted our time. Plain and simple. All right, I could talk all night, but I'm not going to do that, so I will ask, are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for the presentation. It gave us a lot of information. And I guess in light of the information you gave us and you've given us the website, do you have all of these stats listed based on what you just said? All the stats are there. So we can.
So if you, when you go to our website, there's a page specifically for the Housing Our Future plan. When you click on that link, it'll take you to a separate website and everything we've done will be there.
Right.
All the statistics, all the presentations, everything.
Second question, sir. And I know you're trying to really get folks involved. A lot of these programs we've not heard about, obviously. What can your office do to inform people other than going from one community to another and we spread the word by word of mouth? So what can your office do to really involve people more so collectively and also individually?
So I guess I should be asking you that question.
Okay.
You tell us what we need to do. We have, we do the press releases. We do, we let the county council people know what's going on so they can tell folks, but that's still limited to their circle. We've tapped into the nonprofit networks. We've tried to tap into the churches. Sometimes they're a little slow to respond, a little hard to get in touch with. But we have tried the churches. Whatever we need to do, let me tell you, I have worn out 2 pairs of shoes going all over this county. I don't think there's an area of this county I haven't been in. I will go all night if I have to. So tell me where I need to be. I'll speak to whoever you want me to. We'll email or mail whoever you want us to. So you tell us what we need to do to be better at getting the word out.
Okay. Perhaps one suggestion would be, you said you contacted all of the nonprofits. Well, actually, I represent one of the nonprofits, that's the Liberty Hill Historical and Genealogical Society.
Okay.
We have it, and we're registered, the State Department, and quite frankly, I have not received any information that would really assist us going forth with our goals and objectives. So, and I dare to say, perhaps, and I know you've done a wonderful job, but there are other nonprofits that have not been contacted. There lies the rub.
You are absolutely right. And one of my staff members' early ideas was that we go to the Secretary of State's office,
Yeah.
look up everybody who's registered as a nonprofit and contact them. That was on our list of things to do, but quite frankly, we didn't really have the manpower to do it at the time. I was the first employee of our department. I hired our second employee, I got here in October, January. I hired our second employee in like January or February. We're up to, we have 14 positions available. We only have 8, and we're trying to do all these programs. Actually, we only have 5. We got 3 temps. So we are really struggling in terms of staff. So we will be getting around to that. I can't promise you it'll happen before the next grant goes public. So I think for now, if you can just help us spread the word, just go to our website once a week. I would put that on your list of things to do. Just go to the website once a week. Most weeks, nothing will change. But when anything changes, it will be on the website. And we are building a mailing list. So send an email. Everything is HNR info, Housing and Neighborhood Revitalization, HNRinfo@charlestoncounty.org. Send us an email. We will make sure you are on our mailing list. If there's another group that you think should be on our mailing list, you can do that as well. We will get around to the Secretary of State thing, but we just don't have the staff for it right now.
I think that would solve a lot of problems, what you just said, basically. And very often in our communities, we live in grapevine syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And so perhaps maybe those people who are involved more readily with organizations, they get the word out via newsletters or whatever. But I think that's where we need to start with all of the nonprofits. I know you said you don't have the staffing, but
We'll get to it. We will. But in the meantime, just help us spread the word. And, hopefully by this is October. I would say by January, we should be able to reach out to every nonprofit registered in the county.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so again, I'm gonna repeat myself just one last time. We've been at this a year now. We do not have enough participation in Black and brown communities. Please get your folks involved, get them to come out, get them to show up at meetings, get them to show up at council meetings. You have to there are a lot of changes happening in this county. You do not want those changes to take place without your voice being heard. All right?
Another question.
Yes, ma'am.
Other than the website, is there a direct number that we can call? I think that would help.
There is, but you got me off guard on that one. I tell you what, if you send me an email
Will
to
do.
Aiden, I will make sure that we will give, and I will give you the contact people as well as, and I bet you I didn't even bring the card with me. I will give you the direct number to the department as well as what staff handles what, so you'll know who to call for what you need.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, normally I would stay for the whole meeting, but I just left county council meeting. It's been a long day, so I am going to beg your pardon for me to take leave. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Invite me back anytime. I will make time to be here, and look forward to working with you all.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Before we do the committee reports, our resource officer, Officer Pye.
Yep.
He's here.
How's everybody getting on?
Yeah.
ETM,
ETM
INAN.
and,
AN.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Everybody knows me as Pi. First name is Pyam. My friends all shortened it to Pi, and it just stuck, and everybody just remembers it. So you can just call me Pi. You don't have to put the officer in front of it. The uniform speaks for itself. I like to keep it casual and friendly, you know? So just a couple things to report in the last 30 days. We had a shooting on Louis Street. Suspect is known. That investigation is still ongoing. There was a robbery of a person at Montague and Mixon. Those suspects are unknown. That investigation is ongoing as well. There was a stolen vehicle from Luella Avenue that has not been recovered yet. And then there was a pointing and presenting of a firearm at 1568 East Montague. Suspect is known. That is under investigation still as well. Just continue to call in suspicious activity in your neighborhood, in your community. Make sure you are abiding by the see something, say something. Call that non-emergency number if you need us to come out. If it's a crime in progress, call 911 or text 911. A lot of people don't know that you can text 911 now as well. So it's a crime in progress or to save a life for 911. Everything else is non-emergency. The cameras that are coming to the city in all the public places, those are scheduled to be completed by February of next year. So a lot sooner than we thought that they were going to be done. The cameras have been purchased. We are working with Dominion right now because we have to attach them to existing poles and run power to them. So they're going to start going up very, very soon. We will be, those cameras are going to cover all of the major arteries of the city and all the entrances to the neighborhood. So if something happens in your neighborhood, there is no way the suspects are going to be able to leave without being caught on one of the cameras coming out. So vehicles, pedestrians, anything coming in and out of the neighborhood will be caught, and even license plates will be read. We can do facial matching, so if they've already been arrested once before, we can take their jail records and the jail pictures and match them with the photos that we get from the cameras and then identify them that way. So typically the hardest part of holding these individuals accountable once we have video footage of them or pictures is identifying them. So this will make it a lot easier because typically the people doing this have done this before. They've been arrested once before. So we can check records with the jails and then identify them and then draw up warrants for them. So that's the major update I have for you. I have nothing else though. Does anybody have any questions for me? Any concerns?
You answered all.
All right, see, there you go. I know everybody. So originally though, I had to get clarification. It is 700 cameras. I will clarify this for you, but it's 4 cameras per box. So it's actually 182, 184 cameras throughout the whole city. But I've seen the maps of where they're going and it covers a lot of area. you'd be very surprised how much it covers. So it'll be good. Because there's 4 cameras on each box, it gets many different angles too. Really good. And it gets sound. It picks up sound. So it's gonna be great. I'm excited for it. I was thinking it was gonna be over a year before we got them up, but we're looking a lot sooner. And we're already getting businesses to sign up to add their cameras to the system as well. So they'll be integrated into the real-time crime center. So that'll be more cameras, more eyes. All right. Anyone else? No, that's it. All right.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night. See you next time. Bye.
So we'll move forward with our committee reports. The reunion committee?
I think that's under me.
The reunion? No, I'll get,
Oh, okay.
and then the farmer's market?
That's the reunion committee.
Separate. Okay, is there anyone here to report on the gala? Thanksgiving?
We're doing Thanksgiving, third Thursday, or the Thursday before Thanksgiving. Hopefully we'll have it here. I don't think the time has been established yet, but I do know it's gonna be like maybe, I wanna say 6 to 8, but the time may change. But we will have it here on the third Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Christmas on the Hill?
Good evening, everyone. We had our first meeting last Sunday, the committee and I. And, the date is November the 26th, 11 o'clock, in the morning. And, right now, I have, her name is Cara. She is the culture art that handles City of North Charleston Parade. She will be coming in our next meeting, which we are meeting Sunday again at Felix Pinckney, to let us know how things should be, which I have ideas, others have ideas, but being done correctly. And this is where she's gonna do input on things you can have, things you can't have. We look at City of North Charleston different than what we are doing on the Hill, because the Hill is smaller, the City of North Charleston is larger. And last year, she told me that they had 80 cars, and that's a lot. So we are looking forward for it to be a great one, and I was waiting on Dexter or someone to give us the, how far, the distance, but found out with her, we cannot have a trailer in this ride because Liberty Hill is small. We're not big like where they're having theirs. We can have, when we dealing just on the hill, the areas are not as wide to have those big floats. So we know that it's not gonna work. Not when we just doing it right there by Gainer, coming back up to go on the opposite side. So we're using both sides, left and right. We met with Chief Burgess. I haven't met with him back yet to discuss, but we know, speaking of what Cara said, that we can, in no way we can do a big float on that. So we're dealing with just only smaller things. And the committee that we have is to help get each groups, and we're branching out where this group handles the church, because we want to try to get as big as we can. We're getting churches involved, which is the pastors in the community. And also we want to try to use them in the parade, as well as praise dance, Boy Scouts, band, cars. You got Courtney, she's our first Black county council clerk, and she and her family is going to be in there. city council, I'm sorry, clerk. And we also got 2 Black doctors on Liberty Hill. I already okay with them. They are gonna be participating in it. We need everybody hand in this, not only because I'm chairing it, but this is a part of everybody. And whatever you can do, we would like for you, ideas to come in on Sunday at 4 o'clock at Philly's Picnic. And we are looking forward to have a great parade. We're going to do a brunch afterwards, and that's only with the people that is in the parade. And also we having judges that are gonna be judges for best participant, cars, and best decor for that, best performance for that, and we also going to have band as well. Any questions on that? Anybody? Please, we need everybody hand in this, because first of all, it was given to me late. Like she said, and I was saying, you should start early when you're doing that. They start since the first beginning of September or August. But she'll be out Sunday and give us some input on what we can do, what we can do, and how to really bring out a parade.
Beautification committee and political action.
The only report that I have is that we are having the midterms election coming up on November the 8th. Get the word out, and everybody need to get out and vote. They've already started early voting, and you can go to the only site that I know of is the voting office off of Leeds Avenue. So if you want to do early voting, you need to go by there.
And special relief. Valerie wants to table any new business until she comes back. And any announcements? If there's none, I brought over here. So the beginning of the month, the first Thursday in every month, I am on the committee of an organization that's at the city of North Charleston. And the Thursday at the beginning of this month, we had our fire chief come out and speak. So he gave a copy, it's a handout, like a PowerPoint presentation, and they're willing to come out to different community council meetings. But he wants to get the word out to let people know that they do more than just put out fires. I'm not going to go through it. The handouts are out there, and there's also an assessment. And I'm saying this because, and I had planned to bring it anyway, but as we all know, Mr. Bobby Anderson, passed away tragically with the fire. I think that's what, the 3rd or the 4th fire we've had within a year. So we need to bring some type of awareness. I don't know if he can come out, if people wants to call to see if they can have some smoke alarms, smoke detectors, to make sure it's, I guess, operating properly. Some people have them in their house for years and never test them. Like I said, he gave an assessment, and I think there's an email address. If not, you can reach out to me or contact the City of North Charleston Fire Department. Just turn it in, but they want your input. Okay.
And one of the fire chiefs came out to Bobby's house today, and they're reaching out to Royal because they want to, give that exposure about the smoke detectors. They want to figure out a way that we can get the word out to the people so that they can be gotten free. There's no cost for people.
And
So they did come out today and they pass that information on the Royal.
Anything else?
Suggestion, you said they came out to Raw. I think perhaps maybe if they go to all of the churches in Liberty Hill, I think that would be a better approach, not just one church, but all of the churches, whether they're considered to be a mega church, small, it doesn't matter, as long as they do that.
I just think she did outreach because she was right there at the site, you know.
Right,
And, we were there, so.
that works, yeah.
I don't know any of the details, but I think the funeral will be held, what,
The
Tuesday
funeral's Tuesday
at
at
11
11
o'clock.
at Royal, correct? Anything else? Okay, I'm gonna close this up.
Okay. Oh, Father, we just thank you for this day. This was a good meeting, Lord, a lot of good information, and we know that you are in the midst, Lord. So we just thank you, and we ask that you let us go in adjournment. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Good night, everybody.
Good night, thank you.
Come on, ready.
Sweatshirt.
Yeah, I got that.